Baby got how long in prison, yo? That's crazy.
Cannon and other neighborhood 60s were. The grand jury returned a multiple count indictment on Bricc Baby. The first count was being in possession of spent shell casings that he shot in a public parking lot in July 12th of 2022. He was still in possession of the shell casings. The second count they hit Bricc Baby with was being in possession of firearms and ammunition as a felon. Now, they listed a bunch of things they found at Bricc Baby house. I'm not gonna go through every single one of them. But when you go down a list and actually read what they discover at Bricc Baby's house, the list would make you think that this was a raid they did in Baghdad or something, bro. I didn't know that civilians walked around with ammunition like this and guns like this. It was crazy. Now, Bricc Baby realized fairly shortly they got a lot on me, and they worked out a plea deal. Now, when the plea deal was announced, it was very hopeful to a lot of people who was behind the scenes who care for Bricc Baby, because it was presented to us based on his plea deal. Bricc Baby would essentially get about 5 years, probably be home in about 2 years.
So apparently he's going to find out how long he gets next month. So likely what's going to happen is he's accepted this plea. He's accepted the conditions that are in there that are basically breaking down the potential maximum guidelines. He's probably now going to have to file for bail, and he's going to await his sentencing. But hopefully, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and I'm glad that we're not seeing any more serious, crazy charges. It's looking like all that he's really faced on this situation is these guns and ammunition. And, you know, frankly, I'm gassed that we're not seeing any violence. We're not seeing any other more serious allegations in there, especially considering how serious a lot of the allegations were surrounding this whole Big U case with the whole Rolling 60s RICO. It was looking very serious. So to me, this is looking like it's pretty healthy, and hopefully we're going to be seeing Bricc back outside very soon, man, because, you know what I mean, it's right now it's firearms, it's ammunition, you know, nobody's getting hurt.
The feds was probably watching this laughing their butt off, man, because at this time, nobody, even Bricc Baby, didn't know the feds just pulled a fast one on him.
What?
What he thought he was going to get was nowhere close to what the feds planned on trying to get him. Now, Bricc Baby will find out when he went to his next court day to talk about what his sentence was gonna be. And it was at this court date he found out the feds was trying to give him 115 months minimum. So Bricc filed a motion like, yo,
how the hell you even get set up like that, yo? Oh, I ain't got by being a dummy. If you're gonna be out here doing illegals, be ready to face illegal consequences. That's all I'm gonna say. That's crazy, bro. But that's crazy. Like, just follow the law. And if you're not ready to follow it, be ready for the consequences. Don't be looking around when shit goes wrong, bro. That's it.
Yo, they trying to give me 115 months. What are y'all doing? And the motion that Bricc filed says, yo, the government has now abandoned the framework entirely. The framework that I thought I was going to get sentenced under, they completely abandoned it. They tricked me. Now, Bricc Baby and his lawyers would say in its sentencing memorandum filed December 5th, 2025, the government adopted probation's calculation of a total offense level of 23 and a guideline range of 92 to 115 months. That's roughly double what Bricc Baby was led to believe he faced when he agreed to plead guilty. Bricc Baby then files a motion, and he says, listen, they tricked me. This is not cool. I want another judge to sentence me, or I want to abandon this plea deal and I want to take it to trial. And the prosecution and the state said, oh, really? Oh, word? Where did we trick you at, Bricc Baby? That's what they said. Show us where did we trick you. Show us the proof. Bricc said, I got the proof. I got the evidence. I kept the receipts of where y'all tricked me at. They said, show it to us then. Show us where we tricked you.
How did he get tricked?
And they sat back and they said, give him an extension of the deadline. We want to see where we.
Come on, Flacco. How?
Bricc Baby and his
Tell us.
Gathered up.
My earphones can't even take this.
And they said, Your Honor, here is the email. Here's the documents. The first piece of evidence they provided to the court was this email. Now, before Bricc Baby accepted the plea deal, his attorney reached out to get understanding of what they'll be pushing for and what type of time he can expect, because, you know, obviously that plays a factor in whether or not he's going to accept the plea deal or not. So they responded back to Bricc Baby's attorney, pretty much estimating his base offense level. The base offense level is essentially, in layman terms, how big of a criminal Bricc Baby is. And they factor in his prior criminal history to get the base offense level. So if we both commit the same crime, however, your criminal history have relevant conduct, well, your base offense level will be higher and you will get, you know, more time than me.
Dang.
So the email reads, if I'm doing
anything fraud related,
keeping the rules correctly, I think the court will use 22 as the offense level, and there won't be any upward adjustment for multiple counts because the other counts are too low. With acceptance of responsibility, that would mean the total offense level is 19. But yes, the court will be able to consider the other conduct generally as sentencing. The reason why we wanted to include it in this case is because if he is going to accept responsibility, we would rather not have to file a new indictment against him for anything fraud related. You're about to witness in real time how deceptive and tricky these people are. So Bricc Baby asked for a pre-plea report because the email is informal. They can say whatever in the email. The pre-plea report is something more formal, more legally binding for the most part. And he could present the pre-plea report and say, yo, this is what I was told. The email is just them like, you know, yeah, you may get this, may not get this, and who knows. But the pre-plea report would have been more formal. Right. They tell Bricc Baby, yeah, we have no objection to doing the pre-plea report if you wanted. Although, unfortunately, like, we don't know how long that would take. And if you're trying to get this over with and sentence as fast as possible, then, you know, the pre-plea report might get in the way of that. They even laid it even more thick on Bricc Baby. They said, listen, all right, we have to list in the sentencing guidelines that you are a career offender. But check this, they told Bricc Baby, I agree. I don't think he's a career offender. We just have to include that in the plea agreement so that he's advised his guidelines theoretically could defer in that situation, right? You know, it could, you know, theoretically change, but everything can theoretically change. You know, that's just mumbo jumbo. It means nothing. Don't even worry about it. Nobody thinks Bricc Baby
this
is
fucking word salad, y'all. My God, bro. See, this is why I be telling y'all, don't put yourself in situations where you have to deal with the law or getting me. These people are conniving.
Career offender. That's what they're telling Bricc Baby to get him to sign that plea deal. Bricc Baby would also provide some documents that shows that the feds told him, hey, you would only be pleading guilty to count 2, we'll dismiss count 1, and we will reject and prosecute you for the FEMA fraud. Bricc says, y'all told me y'all would dismiss the other 2 charges, but I show up to court and you guys is bringing that up. What, like what's going on here? Y'all tricked me. The feds says, no, we didn't. Did you read your plea agreement? Did you read it? No, okay. Let's go through it. So the feds just responded back to Bricc Baby today. They responded back with their response, and they essentially laid out how they tricked Bricc Baby into accepting a plea deal that he had no idea he was accepting. Bricc Baby was expecting to be classified as a Category 19 criminal for layman terms because the average person don't know what a BOL or a PSR is. So Bricc Baby thought that because of his plea deal, he'll be categorized as a Category 19 criminal. How did he get 19? Well, the base level offense, right? The base offense level would be 20. The enhancements for having multiple firearms as a felon will be +2. You get to 22. You take away 3 for accepting the plea deal and taking accountability and responsibility. So they take away 3, and that's how you get 19. And with the 19, he will qualify for a sentence as low as 5 years. But the feds did some tricky math to make sure Bricc Baby actually gets categorized as a Category 23 criminal that would demand a sentence of 115 months, at minimum 92 months. And remember when they told him, don't worry about the career criminal disclaimer, that's nothing. Well, that's the first thing they brought up. These folks told Bricc Baby, well,
got him.
Read the document in paragraph 12, we stated that defendant and the USAO reserve the right to argue that additional specific offense characteristics, adjustments, and departure under the sentencing guidelines are appropriate. Paragraph 12 also contained a carve-out stating that the base offense level could be increased if defendant is a career offender or an armed career criminal, or if defendant has additional prior convictions for either a crime of violence or a controlled substance offense under blank, 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 blank.
Oh my God.
If defendant's
I gotta read the lawyer was
the
at.
defendant and the USAO would not be bound by the base offense level agreed to above. Bricc Baby and the
Bro, fire your lawyer, bro. Fire your lawyer, Bricc Baby.
feds both agreed that his base offense level would be 20. Bricc Baby believed that if my base offense level is 20 and they gave me a +2 enhancement for the multiple firearms and they take away 3 due to me accepting the plea deal and taking accountability, that puts me at 19. The feds, when it was offering Bricc Baby that, they already knew they was about to cook Bricc Baby with the other stuff because they have like Bricc Baby's full criminal history already. So nothing they saw after that plea deal surprised them. They already had his entire criminal record. And Bricc Baby tried to argue that, like, hold on, y'all already had my criminal record. What do you like what you talk like y'all gave me my base offense level and y'all told me I could expect this. Y'all already had my criminal history. Nothing y'all found afterwards is surprising y'all. And the feds said, we don't know what to tell you, buddy. You agreed to this. But here's where they really cook Bricc Baby, man. And these people are slick, bruh. They said, Bricc, if you look at your plea agreement, which I'll be real, why is Bricc Baby's lawyer surprised by any of this? Isn't the lawyer supposed to be the one who...
Bro, how many times I gotta tell y'all? If you're watching a Flacco video, you might as well come watch the JSmoove reaction too. Because I probably said it in a different way right before he did. Like, what's going on?
The Fed says, hey, Bricc, if you look at your plea agreement, you pled guilty to count 2. Felon in possession of firearms and ammunition in violation of, the 18 USC. And you admit to certain additional relevant conduct. Even though we dismiss count 1 and the FEMA fraud charges, we agree not to prosecute you for them. Well, sir, you, in your plea deal, you agreed to admit additional relevant conduct. So even though you were not prosecuted for it, you still admitted to your parts in count 1 and the FEMA fraud. And because you admitted to it and you agreed as relevant conduct, well, we can factor that in on your base offense level. They says, right, you admitted to certain additional relevant conduct, including his count 1 conduct and uncharged FEMA fraud. In exchange, the government agreed, among other things, to move to dismiss count 1 as sentencing and not to further prosecute defendant for the fraud-related conduct. The government did not agree, however, to recommend any particular sentence. I don't know where Bricc Baby found his lawyer at. I don't know. But this is not Bricc Baby's fault. This is his lawyer's fault. His lawyer is supposed to spot this. His lawyer is supposed...
That boy had a public defender, bro. He didn't have a fucking lawyer. He had a public defender. A Boki. Like, I don't know what this is. Like, this is disgusting to see. Somebody of a stature like that should be able to get a decent lawyer who can read the fucking paperwork correctly, bro. What the fuck is this? This is horrible. And even though I'm not justifying any of this he was doing that got him in this situation, what I'm saying is, yo, the white man be getting out of jail every damn day because of a good lawyer. There's niggas doing wild stuff, crashing the car, doing benzos, meth, everything. White people get out of those situations. So, hey, if you get a proper lawyer and get out of it, the law is the law.
Everything in her power to make sure that everything is like on the up and up. The feds literally tricked them. They finessed them, right? They had them thinking, count 1 is dismissed. Bricc thinking, man, I don't got to deal with that. He even says, yo, like count 1, they already knew about count 1. So why is this being factored in after I took the plea deal when this should have been factored in before? They like, bro, that's not how this works. We could factor in anything we want to factor in, especially if you agree that this can be cited as additional conduct. Oh my God, man. I'm praying for Bricc Baby, man. Obviously, that's my friend. That's my guy. I don't ever want to see him in this situation. So I'm praying Bricc Baby gets a fair deal, man. But right now, it looks like it's pretty much cooked. Let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think, man? If you're a Bricc baby, would you take this to trial?
Hell yeah, I'm taking this to trial. And let me know how y'all feel about it, because this is some nonsense. Make sure y'all go watch Poetic Placo's original video. Like and subscribe to his channel. Do the same for me. I appreciate it. And make sure that if you don't want to miss out on getting a good lawyer, you hit that link in the description. Make sure you're not in any student loans, medical bills, or credit card debt. Because if you have any debt, you may not be able to get a lawyer and you'll be in a situation just like this. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, as we just said, and leave a comment letting me know how you feel about this situation. And if you have any lawyer recommendations for Bricc baby, leave them down below. We'll make sure we get it to him immediately.
Good job, my brother. We rocking with you.